Live from the hottest holotable hall deep within the Outer Rim, it's Rogue Actions with your host, Urza, and tonight's special guest, Meowbacca. Thank you, and welcome to Rogue Actions, where we're serving up the tough questions in and around those holotables and the galaxy. And tonight's guest is coming to us all the way across the Outer Rim, just outside Echo Base on Hoth. Yes, he is one of the leaders of the New Empire Strategy Discord and the creator of Hoth Ski Report. Everybody loves it. My pleasure to welcome Meowbacca to Urza's Holotable Hall. Meow, how you doing tonight? How's Hoth?
Hoth is cold. You know, I know that at the Holotable Hall it is always a gorgeous night, but I tell you, it is not a gorgeous night ever on Hoth. So I just came in from some tauntaun hunting. So let me get undressed here.
Yeah. How are the tauntauns doing, by the way?
We don't have that blue milk you have in over in the Holotable Hall. We have to. Have you ever milked a tauntaun?
I have not milked a tauntaun.
You don't want it. So
all right, all right, man. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, and we'll go ahead and just get right to it, guys. Lots of news to talk about, and to kick it off, the dust has finally settled. The kit has been revealed of the mighty Chewbacca. At a minimum, the early signs point to a balancing of the meta, bringing some much-needed diversity. Meow, what do you think of the latest legendary character hitting these holotables?
Well, I tell you, watching all these videos, I'm having some big-time flashbacks of Bastila launch and how she was going to be the new meta. So all she did was just switch our whole server over to from Palpatine lead to Traya lead. So I have my hopes. I'm getting pretty tired of this Traya meta, even though I've been running Traya. I was one of probably the first 10 or so on my shard to have unlocked Traya. I'm ready for something new. This is Palpatine, and now Traya is the first time I've actually ran the meta.
Yeah.
So it's getting dull.
It is getting very dull, and I am excited because, obviously I've done a lot of testing with him, and he is fun. He's going to cut down these double tank lineups. It's going to be a lot of just high damage and just getting right to the point. I am a guy who's running Basti lead in Arena right now, and after playing with Chewie for a few days now, I don't ever want to go back to playing a Basti team, because let me just tell you, Meow, like, you go to... You play a Basti on Basti team. That is the most unfun matchup to ever play. Like, it is just foresight spam for 5 minutes, and you have to kind of pay attention the whole time.
I bet, and I don't have a good Bastila counter other than just Traya and hitting auto. I've tried out some resistance, and it's not super reliable. At least my resistance aren't. So. I can't imagine Traya v Traya unless you have some really strong Jedi, which mine are just gear 11. So it's funny, right? Like they said Bastila was gonna. Everybody got all excited, and it was it was just kind of. I went all in, and it was fun for about the first week, and I'm like, I think I had more fun playing Rex. Totally.
So I'm hopeful that I mean, I've done the testing. It looks legit. But live bullets are always a little bit different. So
yeah, and it looked like possibly Django could find a little place in the meta. But no, we have one guy who tried out the Django lead, and he's gone back to Bastila.
So it breaks my heart, man, seeing these guys wail out on Django, and it's. I want to say Thunderwhack put up a video, and he's just like kind of distraught. I'm like, man, I feel bad for him. So,
but Django's still pretty solid. What I am excited about with Chewie though is for territory wars. So my danger zone has just been terrible against all the Traya leads.
Oh yeah.
It's like 10% success rate. So if I can take a danger zone team and move R2 over to JTR, then I'm loving that. Having another Traya counter. So
Yeah, and I did a video on that. Thanks for teeing me up, but just did a video on that, and it totally works. Danger Zone's legit, man. It can cut it down. So, the challenge with that sort of stuff though is, do you have enough good mods to? Because all the guys running Treya, that they got all their best mods on that. So do you have enough good mods to make Danger Zone really have a good chance of beating it? So, anyways,
Territory Wars, it's sort of a who has the deepest mods.
All right, good stuff. So Chewie wasn't the only big news today. Or big news this week. We also learned about IG-88's ship today, the IG-2000. What are your initial impressions of this ship? And just full disclosure here, I am not a ship guy at all, so I'm hoping you know a little bit more than me. I did watch Warrior's video. What do you think? Well, and this kind of leads into a larger question here: is what are your impressions, and do we think this is going to lead into something else?
Yeah, so I don't get to play around with these new things like you guys do, but when the videos I've seen, they seem to sort of highlight how great Houndstooth is, which I run Houndstooth in Arena or in Fleet Arena, and up until recently I was the only one in my shard. I'm just running a 4-star Houndstooth with an Empire fleet, and it's great. I pretty much never have to refresh battles anymore. But watching the videos, I feel like, okay, not so much that Xanadu or this IG 2000 are great, or will they be in the meta? It just they to me they highlight how awesome Houndstooth is and how much he can carry a squad. So who knows? I thought Warrior's video was the most informative of the ones I watched. I can't imagine running it because I've already got one 4-star ship. I don't know if I can do I've got Xanadu at 3-star. I probably won't do a IG 2000 to 4-star. I'll probably leave it at 3-star if they do the same packs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Will they lead to something else though? I
mean, it's got to, right? Like those were the ships.
Right.
Those were the ships. The guys looking for the Falcon, right? It's got to.
Sure.
But I mean, 3 Falcons in I don't know, a couple of years. What is it, a year and a half since ships? Is that about right?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of ships. It's tough if they introduce meta ships because there aren't very many. And then if they put them on these ship nodes to farm, those are slow farms. So
oh yeah, those are brutal. I'm looking at Landino right now, and I'm like, dude, it's going to be a long time, man. But I want to farm him because I know that's there's probably a good likelihood that there'll be some sort of event around those guys down the road. I mean, you'd have to assume.
Totally. And the Lando's Falcon, it's I don't run it, but it's got a really, really solid reinforcement ability.
What does that do? Do you know offhand?
So when he comes into battle, he copies all buffs, and I might be a little off on this, but he copies all buffs from all ships, and then he takes a turn for every reinforcement that has been called in before. So if he is the 3rd reinforcement, he will come in, copy all the buffs, and then he just takes 3 turns.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially I'm thinking of in Territory Wars if it's a long battle.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you're running him under a mace lead or something, and he comes in and just copies all buffs and wipes out the enemy.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I'm in the dregs of. I don't even try very much. I haven't seen him yet, so probably should care more about it than I do. All right. So we're just cruising right along here. Good stuff. Okay. Next up, we've got the action-packed news of Night Sister Zombie. Yes, Paper Zombie is now a thing of the past. Admittedly, I only have Mother leveled and geared, so that's about me and Mommy. That's as far as we go with the sisters. So my knowledge is a bit limited here. Meow, what do you... I see your cat doing some stuff. He's cleaning himself. Okay, it's all good.
Oh. It's so gross what they do.
So sorry. So Night Sister Zombie, Paper Zombie, it's done. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I only have so I've got the Night Sisters at gear 11, and I've got Mother Talzin lead Zeta, and that's all I have. And I run them as a JTR counter in Territory Wars. Um, they're passable at that gear level.
Right.
So I don't know. Our resident expert on the Night Sisters, Stan. He's not sure. We just count on him to understand it and tell us all what all of it means, and he's not quite sure yet.
Is that Stan from Canteen Invisila?
No, different Stan.
Oh, different Stan. Okay.
Stan, Hosky Patrol Stan.
Okay, Hosky. Well, hey, we'll build him up a name.
Okay. But he is our Night Sister master, so we're looking to him to educate us all. It's either him or McMull.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those guys has to explain it all to us. I see. I think of it in terms of territory wars and what does this mean for? Do JTR walls somehow become slightly more viable now?
Yeah.
If we can't run paper zombie to take down those walls, or what? So, looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to gearing up zombie. I have her at gear 8. I checked her gear to get her to gear 10. She needs 200 syringes and a stun gun, and so I'm saving all that for Chewie. So
yeah. That's kind of what I'm on. I'm not touching my gear right now. I am holding everything I can. I'm panic farming Bosk like a madman right now. I just want to make sure I have a chance. I mean, I can't imagine they would make it so easy to where you could just use the OG hunters and do it. I mean, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe
they've had some nice reworks, but Bosk lead is pretty solid with that Zeta.
Yeah, it sure is. So back to Night Sisters. It looked like Top Hat in the posts today said that it would be a little bit harder to set up in the raid, but you could still do it. Is kind of what I read. Isn't that what he said? Something like that.
Yeah, I think that the what do they call that P3 squad dark saber? I mean, this is how much I know about Night Sisters. I don't what it's either P3 or P4 is seems to be more heavily impacted than the other. So
okay, all right.
Darkstorm. I can't remember.
We'll just. It sounds like we both don't really know a whole lot on Night Sisters, so I won't pretend like we do. So let's just go ahead and move on. I know this is something you know a lot about, and some of your personal community projects. You are one of the leaders of the new Empire server Discord. I believe it's called Empire Strategy Discord, and you also put together the Hosky report, which is just fantastic. We'll talk about that in a sec. I was on the other Empire server, the original one, for a very long time, and those guys didn't like me. They were not fans of Lobot. I was putting my Lobot videos up there. They were getting taken down immediately. So I'm thrilled that the new Empire server, or your Empire server, is a very Lobot friendly place, and it's very nice. So what can you tell me about the new Empire server?
Okay, well, I will say it is all the brainchild of Miami Heat, who from the old Empire server. I know. He was the guy I always looked to come up with whatever Empire squad that could contend with the meta. So I think that the server is all him, and just kind of wanting to focus on just Empire viability. Yeah. It's kind of a rough go right now for the Empire, but Miami Heat has put together a good collection of Empire theory crafters, which I don't consider myself one. I just like them. Yeah. I like running them. I love the troopers, and so I help Miami Heat with that server.
Heat's a good guy. I tease him a little bit. He always likes to. I put together my how I beat Treya each and every day, and it's the cheese, right? It's Thrawn lead with Magma, and I have like Baze in there, and I have Nest, and I have Nihilus, and this is how I get through Treya every day. And I have this video up, and he took one look at it, and he's like, "Well, why the hell are you running? Why aren't you running Shore Trooper instead of Baze? Because you're missing the Empire synergy with Thrawn." And I kind of thought, I'm like, well, he's right. So now I'm running Shore Trooper in the Baze spot. So small update to that little team. So, but I like to tease him. I'm like, he's always, he knows his stuff, so he's always pointing it out to me when I make stupid mistakes.
Totally. And I find his videos. I'll share them sometimes in our HOTH Patrol Discord, our guild with the guild. So I'm like, this is the territory war counter for X, Y, and Z. Miami Heat. He's got some pretty good ideas there.
Yeah, I love how I tried to get Heat on to come and do rogue actions with me, and he was like, nah. He's like, let me give you a meow. I'll do it for you. He served you up, so
yeah. I don't mind. It's all good.
No, it's all good. All right. Let's press on here. Last question before the Forest Lightning round, and this is something I asked Nukin last time when he was on. So we are quite a ways past Sith Raid. I think Sith Raid came out in February?
Well, I think it was supposed to be February. Maybe came out March 1st.
March 1st, okay. So we're a ways out, and then Tank was a long time ago. October of 2016 was when Tank came out. So are we? Yeah, it was a while ago. So I guess my question to you is: are we due for some new game modes, or would you rather see a new raid? What are you looking for, man? I feel like raids are the lifeblood of the game, but it feels a little soon. But I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, considering that, even guild members from guilds that have been doing the raid since it dropped, the heroic raid, have not 7-starred Traya. It's hard to imagine them putting out a new raid. Remember last year when Territory Wars launched and they said, hey, this is just the start. We've got more things that we're going to add. And they said, we're looking at potentially platoons, and the community collectively just like grown like the least favorite part of the game, platoons. Right. And they were talking about doing that in Territory Wars. I would love a new Territory War map. Because it's like, it's pretty bland at this point. Maybe give us, a different planet, different factions with bonuses.
And this is the point I made. I have those Tuskens ready to go. Take us to Tatooine. I might have my Tuskens, give them some, like wet work type bonuses like the bounty hunters. I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah, and then the other thing with Territory Wars is remember when they bumped it up to, it was supposed to be only at the highest end you were now 35 squads per territory.
Yep, I do remember this.
And they tweaked the matchmaking just a little bit, and that next match we got matched up against Mighty Chlorians #1.
Oh yeah.
And it was like
GG.
30 million difference. And in our little Territory War strategy, we're like, okay, well, let's just like give them a good fight, and maybe we can do some trickery and like force them bottom, and they just completely smoked us. And
so we had that for the first time. We're not quite at the 160-ish million mark. We got put up against VA Vapid or whatever whatever Mace's ability is called. They're the top Russian guild, I want to say.
Is that Red Force?
I don't know. Maybe I know they were good. They blew us away. I don't know. I thought they were the top Russian guild, but maybe I'm wrong.
Because we faced them too, but there's a few different VA Vapid. That's the one.
Yeah.
We faced them too.
They smoked us. It wasn't even. We have super highly competitive guys in our guild. They're kind of like, pissed about it. I'm like, God, this is the top Russian guild. We should be just honored to fight them.
Yeah.
They did not like that response from me.
Yeah. Against us, it was we were watching them, and they would just all of a sudden, like 15 minutes after an unlock, all of a sudden you'd have like 15, 20 people all attacking simultaneously, and they're like one attack kills. Super organized. But yeah, so going back to that 35 units per territory or squads per territory, I feel like maybe we're ready for that. Now that we've got, we're now up to 185, and so I feel like every territory war, it's just totally an efficiency game, and who can clear the board with the fewest kills.
Yeah. And
everybody puts up, almost the same walls every territory war. So who can, who can counter a Traya wall or a Thrawn wall with the fewest squads. So I'd be down for them to go back to that 35 at the higher levels
Now,
and make it more of.
Are you guys
And
seeing? Like kind of what we see is like the previous metas just get built up as walls. Is that what you guys see in the top end as well?
yeah, you think back in the start of Territory Wars, it was GK Zeres and
Yeah, I remember this. The Zeres wall. Oh my gosh.
yeah, and then the JTR walls, and then Night Sisters are a hard counter to that. So it's right now. I mean, well, Vapid, they had a different strategy that completely caught us off guard, and they were just so good. But I don't know. We're trying new things.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, it's a lot of prior metas. We don't see too many GK Zeres. If we come across a GK Zeres wall, we're like okay.
Yeah. Well,
these guys maybe
just the
aren't
damage
super
out.
into territories.
Yeah, the damage output now it just smears those teams. I mean, obviously you wouldn't burn your meta squads against GK Zeres, but I mean, I'm sure you guys have deep enough rosters to work your way through that.
Hopefully. but sometimes like you get an old meta wall, like this guild we faced, and we hadn't faced a Thrawn wall in what felt like months, and then all of a sudden we're up against the guild and they put 2 Thrawn walls in there, and so you're not used to countering those,
right? And you're like, well, what squad do I burn here? Like,
totally, yeah. And so it's like, oh, do I still save this Treya counter, or do I run my JTR against them, or save them for a second crew wall?
Yeah, we had the exact same thing where we first 2 zones, the first kind of just the right side the zone 1, the top zone and the bottom zone were CLS walls, and I was like, what? That's an interesting thing to look at. Like, what do you run against that? Because if you don't do something good, CLS is just going to go nuts. So,
yeah. Well, I'm trying to learn the ways of Wampa.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's what you do against that.
Mine's gear 10 though, so.
Yeah.
But my guild convinced me that his Zeta was worth it, and at gear 9, 5-star, the Zeta Wampa is not worth it. But he's getting better. He's getting better.
No, I ran him for a good 4 months. I was the first guy in my shard to have one, and I ran him for a good 3 or 4 months, and he gave me some good legs. So I've got a special soft spot in my heart for that Wampa. All right. Yeah. So we're moving on here. It is time for Force Lightning Round. And I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is where some rapid fire questions. So let's just get right to it, Meow. Are you ready to exercise your mastery of the holotables?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right. As a reminder, please don't dare access your device or .gg. My droids are maintaining a signature of your scan, and any irregularities will be reported. Believe me, you don't want to piss off my droids.
Probe droid.
Yeah, man. Best sound effects in the game. All right. Here we go. Question 1. The infamous pack featured shard drops of Krennic and Death Trooper ranging between 5 and 30 shards for a whopping 2,999 crystals. So 3,000 crystals, basically. Sorry, I couldn't get that all out. What is this pack called? The Krennic and Death Trooper pack when they first came out. It caused... I think you remember. You remember.
Oh yeah, totally. And shortly thereafter they went to the hey, we're gonna start to implement some kind of a cadence.
Yeah.
And
yep.
And it wasn't the Autorat.
I can't Erodium. It was not an Erodium pack. It had a very specific name, and I remember some people were furious over this thing.
I don't know. I'm totally. Okay. I'll know when you tell me.
Citadel pack.
Citadel, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was. I went and looked at it. I saw a screenshot of it. I'm like 5 to 30 shards for 3,000 crystals.
five shards.
Or could you imagine? 10, right? Could you imagine? And like, I wonder how many people wailed on that, or if it just. Because I remember the whales at the time were like, we're not doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a huge deal, and yeah, and remember they said, okay, we're gonna have like a little cadence, and we're gonna
Yeah.
put characters into Shard Shop after a certain amount of time. It'll be in Shard Shop for a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
That's how I got
I got I,
Baze. I got my
that's
Baze. I just went nuts on him.
that's how I got Fulcrum. I got her up to like 6 stars or something, and
Yeah.
then she's been at like Gear 7 since.
But you got her, man.
But back then there was nothing in Shard Shop that was.
Yeah.
It's not like it is today.
It's
So
great now. It's great. They finally
yeah,
made that place good. So,
yeah.
all right, all right. So we're 0 for 1, but we will press on here. Next question, question 2 here. These two characters were originally launched in the guild store upon the release of raids. Who are they?
Gamguard,
Gamguard, yep, Gamu.
and then one of the Jawas.
But
Wasn't there?
Which Jawa?
Um,
Because two came. I'll give you a hint. Two came. Well, I don't know if this is a hint, but two came during Modpocalypse when mods came out, and there were two original ones that were launch characters, and then there was the one in guild.
okay. Would it have been? I'm trying to think. Engineer.
It was Engineer. You got it.
There we go.
Good job. Good job. Engineer and
how
Gamu. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many people geared up the Jawa
Yeah.
because they were going to get the bonus for the HAT?
Yeah. Remember that? Remember that? That was we talked about that. That was the big report. Like, get your Jawas ready. Get your Jedi ready. Get that Ugnaught going.
I think IG-88 was my first Gear 11 to run in P2
Oh,
with
yeah.
Engineer and whoever Scavenger.
So P2, yeah, that was a while ago. Oof. Yeah, no, I ran in Arena. I ran a droid team for the longest time. I loved that. That was still one of my favorite teams. And I had to gear up my JE because when he came out, he was hot stuff.
Yeah.
I still love that sound effect. I can just hear it in my mind right now, where he's throwing his arm up.
Yeah.
It's so good. All right. We're moving on. Question 3 here, a Force Lightning round. Which of the following 5 characters was not a launch day character? Mace Windu.
I should know this because I have that whole spreadsheet of
you do?
everybody and their release date.
All right. So here we go. Mace Windu, Hoth Rebel Soldier, Magma Trooper, Stormtrooper Han, and Lobot. Who was not the launch day character?
Wasn't Magma Trooper? Magma Trooper came out in like February or March as the daily login.
Yeah.
That's when I started playing.
Yeah, so I was the last couple days of January 2016, and it was like Cad Bane for like a day or two, and then it switched to Magma as the login.
Yeah, and I think I just caught the tail end of Magma, and then it was something like a Jawa or a Resistance Trooper.
Oh yeah,
next month.
Yeah, no, and I always tell a story about Magma Trooper. I just love that this dude can do something against the best team in the game.
Totally.
Like, just undresses Scion. I just love that about this game.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not that was intentional or just something that it just happened, I love that they left it alone. And there's guys like me who use Magma Trooper in Arena in 2018 to beat the best team in the game.
Totally. He is a beast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, okay, good stuff. We're moving on here. I've got a weird one for you. I know you're a dark side player. Let's see what you can do with this one. Full disclosure, I did not know the answer to this one. I had to look it up. So the HOLDO'S special called Bunker Buster deals special damage to all enemies and inflicts daze for 2 turns. It also inflicts these 2 debuffs on the primary target for 2 turns. So I don't know if you know your resistance or your HOLDO, purple-haired women, but
So my HOLDO is Gear 8, but I run her with Zeta Finn, and she's a Traya counter, or she's a counter to a number of things. But that daze, if she doesn't land that daze, all of a sudden Darth Nihilus is gaining crazy turn meter.
Yeah, right.
Or Nest is countering. So she inflicts. Is one speed down?
No. This one's hard. I didn't know this one. I'm like, I do what you do as well. I run her as well.
No, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
So it inflicts on the primary target. It inflicts defense down and evasion down. So there you go. You learned a little something about Holdo.
I had no idea, and I've countered Trez so many times with her.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that really does all that? Okay, cool. How's your Holdo doing? Is she? How many stars is she? You got the full 7 or?
Yeah, she's 7-star. I farmed, so I farmed her when they did a double, not double drops, but they did the 8 sims per node.
Oh yeah, that first time.
Month. So the first time, and so I was doing her and Rose 16 times a day. So I finished Holdo, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm like 40 out of 100 on her, so I'm getting there. She'll get there eventually.
I mean, I've got so many, like more high priority gearing projects going but I would love to take her and Rose to gear 11. Maybe slap that Zeta on Rose.
Oh yeah, that's a sexy Zeta, man. It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
All right. Next question here. Let's see, where am I at in my notes here? This leader was responsible for the very first Rancor raid solos.
So this was my original heroic Rancor guild. Before we merged in with HOTH Ski Patrol with their non-heroic HAT guild. I'm pretty sure it was Vader.
Really?
Wasn't it?
Couldn't you do it with Tebow prior?
Oh,
Tebow, Qui-Gon, like all those guys.
Okay, so that was when I first started taking the game seriously.
Okay, there you go.
That's why I ran Ewoks in Arena.
Because man, I'm like, Doc-Walks were a thing, man. That was cool. It was a cool team.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, they can clear P1 of the Rancor.
So clearly they must be arena viable.
Yeah, so I ran them in arena for a long time until I think I got Palpatine or until I got Wigs and Stormtrooper Han ready to take down Palpatine. Then I switched to Wigs. But yeah, I think you're right, because that was the impetus for me switching to Ewoks plus Qui-Gon in arena.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Vader did come along, and
when the Zeta, so there was a team. Remember, he was busted for the longest time, and he was like gaining like potency like after every phase, and it got to the point where he was like all his TMR was just totally unresistible. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they had to fix that, and then the Zeta came out, and it basically reverted back to the way it was, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know, my memory's a little fuzzy.
I just remember one guy, he spent like an hour, and he had it in airplane mode, and he's like messaging us in line back at the time. He's like, "I got it," and then he had to wait. Then he had to wait for us to be able to post our scores.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
Okay, next one here. Which one of these characters does not grant potency up with their kit? Sith Marauder, Greedo, Kit Fisto, First Order Officer, or Old Ben?
Man, you're scraping the bottom of the Kit Fisto. So I will say I have every Cantina node farm complete, except I've got a 2-star Kit Fisto.
Maybe one day.
I finished Jawa a couple days ago, and then I'm actually just letting my energy accumulate right now, rather than farm Kit Fisto. I'm waiting for the update this week where I can farm one of these Zalbar or something. Yeah. So I will say I don't think Greedo does. He gives himself potency up.
Yep.
I don't think First Order Officer does.
You got it, man. First Order Officer does not do it.
Okay.
And Marauder obviously does. It's his big move. Greedo does it. Kit Fisto, I always thought when they designed him and he came into the game, I was like, potency up. Oh, that's interesting. Like, where would you use that? But yeah. So I always knew he had it. And then Old Ben, I think he got it on the rework, I want to say. Maybe the Rebel rework. I can't remember.
Is it one he gives out when he dies?
No, he does it when he may have done it in the original build when he died, because he gave like every buff in the game, I want to say. But he does it now on his basic, I want to say.
Okay.
So there you go. Your old Ben basic knowledge. All right. Last question here.
All right.
This character has a whopping 5 faction tags beyond their alignment. Who is it, and can you name all the faction tags for bonus points?
I would just guess it was R2.
It's R2.
So, and I will say that in your with Ramon, I think R2 was an answer that was omitted when you asked who has
Republic.
who has the Galactic Republic and the Rebel tag.
Yeah.
Or something. It was something
like that. Yeah.
And you had omitted R2. So
and everybody was like, dude.
So
I thought you SWGOH'd.
Aren't you a game changer? Yeah. How do you not know?
Yeah, I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah. So those are 2 of them.
So we
Galactic
have
Republic,
Rebel and Galactic Republic.
So he's also Resistance.
Resistance.
That I ran Zetafin Resistance in Arena for the entirety of the CLS meta.
Mm-hmm.
So number 4 would be Droid.
He's a droid. And the next one, it's not a faction. It's like his whatever he is in the game.
Oh, like light side?
No, that's his alignment. So.
So support, you mean?
Yeah, he's a support. You got it. So you got them all, man. The bonus points. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, I know. So, I figured you'd know that one. I mean,
what did I get wrong? Citadel pack.
And then you got Jawa Engineer and Gamu. You got Magma Trooper. He was the one that was not launched. Holdo was the one you missed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough though. Right. I didn't know it either, so I'm sure all those Resistance players are like, dudes, get your Holdo on, man.
Yeah. I don't
all
know.
right.
People who have geared her seem to like her, but I don't know. Always another gearing project coming along.
I know, man. I know. Get those bounty hunters ready. We got bigger fish to fry here.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to thank Meow. You're the man, dude. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, we didn't get to talk about HOTH Ski Patrol, so let's talk about it right now. Before we go, HOTH Ski Patrol. I love it. My favorite one was... I'm laughing just thinking about it. You were talking about Sir George's. This is when Wampinator first came out. And you made some kind of comment, a disfigured man or something. Do you remember this?
I definitely remember Sir George's.
And I laugh because I watched that video too. And he's open in that video where he swings around and takes off his glasses. It's like the best thing the internet has ever created.
And his name, Sir George's.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be, he's a disfigured.
So I this is when I was first starting out doing YouTube, and I wrote a whole bit about how like the Wampa disfigured him, and I thought I was like how he captured the Wampa and took it to Geonosis, and I wrote this whole bit, and I was like, man, if I go on the internet with this, people are gonna think I'm like a bully. I'm like, so I couldn't do it. I was too new. But you did it for me with the HOTH Ski Patrol.
That's funny.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, that is like, God, that video is the best.
Yeah,
I'm smiling just thinking about it.
Yeah, no,
we love you, Sir Georges. We're not making. We love you, man. You're the man, dude. You're the Wampinator.
It's all out of love.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I just had this idea just to make this fake newsletter. So, been doing it for like a year. Maybe I'm not as consistent as I once was, but I try and do it like once a month. Or if there's a big story, I need to do one about Chewie.
Yeah.
So
lots of stuff there, man.
Usually I'll just get an idea and just pound it out one night, post it in my guild Discord, and nobody ever catches my typos until I've already posted it on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. Even when I'm typing it up in Publisher, it'll have like the red squiggly line saying it's a typo, and I totally don't even notice it.
Yeah. That's like when I'm like for whatever reason, I mean, I type emails all day at work, and I'm like, you know, there's errors all over those things. When I do my videos, I'm like, for whatever reason, there's no, I'm supposed to be more focused on what I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't have as many errors. So
yeah, totally.
It's just funny. And last thing, let's tell everybody where they can find you at the Empire Discord. We got to give Heat his love. I told him we would do this, and I would give him the shout out. So Empire Discord, I'll put it in the show notes below.
Empire Strategy. I don't think he has a custom Discord invite link, but
we'll get a link in the show notes. You guys can go there. Great people, very friendly. Tell them your boy Urs sent you.
If you post a video, make sure it's an Empire video.
Well, there's a section for game changers now.
And there's a section for
I can put my Lobot videos there, and no one will delete them.
Totally, exactly. For sure.
Okay. So thank you to Meow, brother. It was great. It was good chemistry. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks. I need to come back to the Holotable Hall. Awesome vibe there. Karaoke machine, love it. I want to come back and I want to put on some Flock of Seagulls. Blast Iran.
Oh yeah. We love a Flock of Seagulls, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, it's always the 80s in the Holotable Hall.
Totally.
Speaking of the Holotable Hall, swing on by Urz's Holotable Hall Discord server. It's your ultimate social hub for a galaxy of heroes. It's dressed to impress, and the Twi'leks always drink free. Stop on by, say hi. Ladies are welcome. The synth wave is always cranked. The neon is always lit. And the holotables, baby, the holotables are hot. Red hot. I've never done this with a man staring at me.
Sorry.
They're red hot. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks, Meow.
All right. Good night, Urza.
There you go. He's
back
ready.
up to the slopes.